The Gilded Age goes beyond what fans see on the show, and there are many crazy facts from behind the scenes. One of the most intense moments in the latest episodes of The Gilded Age is the union strike that almost turned bloody. However, something similar happened behind the scenes of The Gilded Age, where the show was charged with unfair labor. As viewers all know, music is a big part of the series, and orchestra singers were used for the opera in some scenes. However, the American Federation of Musicians filed charges against The Gilded Age for unfair labor, as the show fired the musicians on set when they asked to be unionized. The AFM went into details on what happened, saying the musicians were told that HBO wouldn't be contracting with the AFM, and then were informed they were no longer employed for the production. Speaking about the musicians who were fired, the union revealed that there were 23 of them who were contracted to sideline the music in the show, and that means they wouldn't have to perform live but mime the playing of the instruments for filming. So the union demanded that the musicians be paid at least $242 a day, including pension and health contributions. But due to these demands, they all got fired even though they had already received their first paychecks, costume fittings, and COVID-19 tests. The union was very disappointed with HBO for not wanting to treat the musicians well or allow them to be in a union that would ensure that. One of the affected workers, Theo, said it was a sad experience, judging by how it was the first job most of them could get during the pandemic. In the show, Mr. Russell, the railroad businessman, also has the same issues with his workers, and these musicians can't believe the Gilded Age treated them the same way. Another musician who got fired, Norman, said they were already doing deep research on the music of the 19th century before they were let go. Then they also mentioned that they've been to wedding events where they got treated even better than HBO's The Gilded Age did. While summarizing their disappointment, Norman said, "For the company to put such painstaking efforts into making a historically representative performance and then fall down at the finish line over how musicians are treated, and that should pose no significant challenge to a genuinely ethical employer, is mind-boggling." Seeing these play out on set, many other associations and even cast members like Cynthia Nixon and Kelly O'Hara started to lend their voices to make HBO treat the musicians fairly, so the musicians refused to back down or work unless their AFM demands were met, and they finally won as HBO agreed to their terms and got them all hired again. Just like the musicians fought hard to get their rights accepted by the show, Danny Benton, who portrays Peggy in the show, also made some demands behind the scenes to protect her character. Benton said she felt drawn to Peggy's story and wanted her to be portrayed right. To make this happen, Benton had to start making her opinions heard by ensuring Black women joined the creative team to help her character be portrayed better. According to the actress, the team initially involved all white males, and she felt they might not understand some of the sensitive parts of telling Peggy's story, so many changes were made on set to help with that. Although Benton admitted to being terrified of challenging the authorities on set, she always sent emails to give her opinions on how she thinks Peggy could be improved as a character, and she felt heard every time. She also ensured that Mr. Fortune's business was included in the show for longer, which allowed them to have the show hire more Black actors. Also, many things that happen in Marion and Peggy's friendship are influenced by Benton. The actress revealed her impact on their relationship. "I wanted to make sure that if we were going to build a friendship between these two women, that we didn't build a fantasy and that we got to see Marion's white fragility. We got to see Peggy set these boundaries." So Peggy, being such a strong woman with valid opinions and career accomplishments, was all because the actress who played the role gave more than her acting skills on set. The Gilded Age had a lot of delays before filming began, and that's because the production started around the COVID-19 pandemic. Before the postponement, Amanda Peet was the initial cast meant to play Bertha Russell. However, when filming later began, Amanda was too busy to take on the role, which later went to Carrie Coon. But fans don't know Carrie brought many changes to Bertha immediately after she showed up on set. Although Bertha had been imagined before Carrie came along, her presence made the production add some other adjustments to the character. The costumes for Bertha had also been made, but things changed when the costume designer saw Carrie. The actress explained, "When I came in, it struck me how Kaja, the costume designer, pivoted. I walked into the room and suddenly she had different ideas about the direction she wanted to go in." Another funny fact regarding Bertha's wardrobe is that the designers loved how Carrie walked in them, so they made even more similar outfits to help with her aesthetics. But that wasn't the only thing that affected Bertha's wardrobe in the show. So the actress who was pregnant during the filming started to show soon after, but she could still wear her costumes. However, it got to a time when she had to use strings on the back of the dresses so it could be more convenient. The actress added that she was glad to have have the support of everyone on set because they all effectively worked with her. By the end of filming, Carrie was 8 months along, and the costume designers covered up the pregnancy so well that even the post-production members who had to edit didn't know the actress was pregnant. Interestingly, only one fan was close to discovering the truth behind Carrie's costumes. The fan noticed that her dresses started to look different and not as beautiful again after a time, and they wondered why that happened. And Carrie revealed that she was 8 months pregnant in that scene, so she had to wear a big dress to cover it up. Another fun fact is that the actress who plays Gladys Russell, Stella Farmiga, in the series first auditioned for an entirely different role before landing the role of Gladys. Stella first auditioned to play Marion Brooks, and while recording the tape, she had a strange feeling that the role didn't feel right to her. The actress revealed that she had a hard time trying to read the monologues for Marion, even though she tried it out with her husband. Although she couldn't click with the character, she sent the tape like that. However, she got encouraging feedback from the casting directors who told her that they liked her reading, but they didn't think it was for Marion and asked her to try for another character. She revealed how excited she was to try out for Gladys, saying, "I felt like, not that I failed at the other tape, but I was like, I didn't fully connect. So I was happy to have a second shot with Gladys, and that taped in 2 seconds. And I was like, oh, I know this girl. She's so many versions of 16, 17-year-old Tysa." The behind the scenes of the Gilded Age keep getting interesting, as you won't believe. Christine Baranski, who portrays Agnes, was terrified to play her role on set. And that's very wild because it's surprising that anything could make Christine nervous based on how scary her character in the show is. Although Christine was already used to playing a strong and bossy independent woman in previous projects, she revealed that being on the set of the HBO series made her nervous. But for someone already used to the anxiety and fear of being on an important set, she found a way to settle in and bring back her confidence on set. Most of her worries were because they didn't do rehearsals as they went straight into filming. Also, she revealed that there was barely a chance to reshoot a scene, so she was scared not to make any mistakes while at it, even though it was tough. While Christine was battling with settling down on set, Louisa Jacobson, who portrays Marion, was scared of the actress because her character Agnes was too strict and real. So Louisa was always careful around Christine because she believed she was like Agnes. The young actress even related her concerns to her mother, Meryl Streep, who informed Christine that she was scaring her daughter. So Christine had to assure Louisa that she was a different person from her character, who she had no choice but to portray. After convincing Louisa not to be scared, they later became friends on set and would hang out during their shooting breaks. Another uncomfortable issue Louisa had to go through behind the scenes was dressing up in the corsets. She mentioned that even though she initially asked for a tight corset because she was so happy to be in a period drama, she soon regretted the decision. Louisa said, "It took a long time to get used to that corset after wearing sweatpants for so long. It was taxing physically and mentally. I couldn't sleep on my side for a long time because my ribs were so sore." The actress added that the experience made her appreciate being a woman at this age and time. Agnes and Ada's sisterhood is one of the iconic relationships in the show. And if you think Agnes was more like a mother to Ada than a sister, then you aren't wrong. And that's because Christine and Cynthia share a very delicate history. In 1984, Christine got to play Cynthia's mother on a Broadway show titled The Real Thing. So having them reconnect 36 years later has indeed been helpful in their relationship as sisters in the Gilded Age. Which of these behind the scenes facts of the Gilded Age surprises you the most?